Are you ready for Nexxlegacy?
Are you ready for Nexxlegacy?
Are you ready for Nexxlegacy?
Well, let's begin, my good people. Welcome to Nexxlegacy Podcast.
Welcome everybody that's chilling right now on Nexxlegacy Radio. I am Branded in the building, and it's going to be an honor to be able to talk to this guy. I haven't had dialogue with him in a minute, and I'm curious, not just as far as just his thoughts and views on just everything from the pandemic to hip-hop culture to everything that is everything. But in the meantime, you can definitely make sure you check him out on Blacksheep Dres on the Instagram because he's active doing that, as well as going to poolofgenius.com. And I want to welcome back my guy, the iconic Blacksheep Dres in the house tonight. What's up, man? It's been a minute.
Man. Everything's good, maintaining best we can, definitely everybody's safe and, and that's what's up, safe and healthy.
Well, I want to thank you for not just jumping in, because not just out here in the Bay Area where I'm at, but just everybody that's listening, globally, worldwide. Before we start kind of diving deep into some of the questions that I have for you, outside of you just said it about just making sure people are safe, how are you doing? Because I know you are in, Queens repping, right? You out there on the East, so how are you feeling, fam, all that stuff?
Well, we really got hit kind of hard, where I'm at. But we kind of got a chance to see it come down, thank God, as well. We was up to over 700 cats passing away a day for like a week.
Yeah.
Down to about 200 or so now, which is, thank God, that is steadily going down. But man, I hope that the people that decided to kind of exercise their right to be outside and whatnot realize that, we just was ahead of the curve, this shit is coming through, and cats really need to take it seriously, man. For real. It's nothing to play with.
Yeah, and I think that I don't think it got really real into just probably like the last maybe 2-3 weeks ago when it started to jump up super high. I know the epicenter is New York, but I think everybody's starting to really feel it. Not just on the economic struggle, but a lot of lives are lost, and a lot of black lives are lost at that. You know what I mean?
Without question, yeah. It definitely seems a little, like it's a little more geared towards our inability to deal with a few of the institutional issues that we've been given. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Just the poor health and what have you, that is kind of hereditary at this point for some of us is a negative in this situation. That's definitely true. I just advise everybody to kind of stay home. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when you feel like you might be able to ease out a little bit. Just stay home a little longer.
No doubt. And I think that's important. And it's important for the people out there listening. Take it from this guy, and I feel like with Dres as my guest on Nexxlegacy Radio, just to kind of dive deep into not just just our fallen people that's losing their lives to this pandemic and this virus, but also the economic structure, I'm sure is being felt on your side just like it is on my side. So from yourself,
everybody's for real. Everybody's being touched. That's unless you just sitting on it, which is which, if you are, God bless, that's what's up. But everybody feeling it though, even cats that got a little something,
Right. And it's affecting a lot of people's moves that they're making. Like, businesses are kind of like, at a standstill right now. And if you own a business, do you really, are you thinking of like, damn, do I really own this business now? Because it's hard for you to be able to wiggle and move and do some of the things to be able to keep your head above water while this is going on, right?
Oh, for sure. That's for definitely sure. You know what I'm saying? Like not only, to pay to try to maintain it, but even in coming back to business, some situations are going to have to be upgraded to protect the people that work for them and all kinds, just a whole variety of things are in play now. Like the world is definitely a different place today, and going to be, But like we stay strong and we adapt. Let's do what we got to do to minimize it and get back to living.
And I think that's the main thing you said that's important is back to living. And I feel like, the steps are being taken. And I'm gonna throw this out there when it comes to the music culture, because like I said to start the show, we've been running songs, and you're definitely a music hero in this business to me and to a lot of people out there that's listening. And my question is, when you take a look at everything that's going on pandemic-wise, and you look at the culture of hip-hop, do you see this pandemic changing the course of and the business of hip-hop just going forward, even after we come out of this?
I think it's definitely gonna play into hip-hop. It's gonna play into all music, like it's gonna play into all walks.
Right.
That there's an opportunity for change. Hold on one second, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. And I think in general, when it comes to, just in the culture itself, we got a lot of, there's a lot of, it's targeted, right? Mainstream, you got the underground folks, you got a lot of people out there just doing what they got to do. And now that, there, shows, we can't do shows like we used to. We can't do, some of the things that we are accustomed to. I feel like, especially now, this does not teach us to, okay, well, you know what, just in case if something crazy happens again with the world, I can try to be able to be a little bit more creative in how I go about my day-to-day now.
Right. Without question. I got this project that I'm releasing. I'm finishing up a project when this is over, D&D, which is me and Dilla. My Deuce gave me a blessing to kind of go through a lot of Dilla's personal stuff as well as just, his catalog and put a project together. So I'm like 3/4 done with this project, but just to say, even the release of this project, I'm looking at different and creative ways to release it as opposed to, how it was typically done, when I was coming out, like just releasing a project and, paying some PR to kind of run around and let people know that it's coming. I'm trying to establish a different way as well. I think it's for us to be a little creative and kind of, the terrain is a little more even if we all start after this. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Put your best foot forward and, let's see what happens.
And I think that's dope. And can you tell the listeners a little bit about this project as far as, how did this all came to be, how you got started, you know what I'm saying? What's to expect from this particular one?
Well, a couple of shows last year, my Dukes wound up being at the shows kind of randomly. I really didn't have a relationship with Dilla like that or anything. You know what I'm saying? I was probably one of the native cats that didn't have that relationship with him like that and hadn't rocked, one of his joints. So, the first time I'd have been in Chicago, cats yo, you want to meet Dilla's mom? I'm like, of course, you know what I'm saying? Just out of respect, you know what I'm saying? I'd love to meet my Dukes. Meet her husband, we're chopping it up, you know what I'm saying? Just out of respect. Keep it moving. A few months later, I had a show in Puerto Rico, and I turned to the side of the stage, and they right there, you know what I'm saying, and wound up chopping it up after them, and they got a crib out there, so I went to everybody a crib. Mom's cooking, you know what I'm saying, chopping it up.
Okay, okay.
To which they letting me know, look, we just got all of his music back under the umbrella of the estate, and we're looking for different things to do with the catalog. Would you be interested in doing a project with it? Which, my jaw dropped. They could have asked anybody in the world. And, they asked me, and that shit was just an honor, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, of course I would, and so I've really just been delving into a lot of stuff, that has to do with Dilla and find out a lot, meeting friends and family, and it's been a cool experience, you know what I'm saying? So I got this project, and cats are kind of going to get a chance to hear me in a few ways they might have never really heard me before, and I got a bunch of dope features on it, so I'm really looking forward to releasing it. The name of the group is going to be just D&D, which is Dres and Dilla and Dres, and the name of the project is called No Words. But I don't have a date for it yet. But I would say, cats will hear about the date for probably a month or two after we get a chance to kind of relax this situation. It kind of put everything on hold for everybody. You know?
Yeah, no doubt. And I think that like, you know, especially the culture heads and people that appreciate your music is definitely gonna log in, and you know, and all the people out there that's not following the big homie, make sure you do. Blacksheep Dres is on the Instagram, and you know, I'm looking forward to it. But let me ask you this, because I'm gonna get back to the music in a minute. But I'm following you, so I'm always checking you out, right? So you know, one thing that I can say I love about what you do is you add some, you know, with this, everything is all crazy. With everything that's going on, you always add some humor with a lot of your posts and stuff like that. I mean, is it directed towards just making sure that we kind of do a nice balance of you know, chaos and order, or this is just normally how you flow with your IG stuff, bro?
I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it varies, man. So, you know, like sometimes I know that the stuff that I'll be seeing, cause I follow a lot of people as well. You know what I'm saying? So I see all kinds of just funny stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't make memes. I just see them. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I'll wind up reposting. Sometimes some of the ones I'm posting kind of, you know, like just really stand out. But you know, I follow all kinds of cats and different kinds of sites and the thing. Like I kind of take advantage of the opportunity that IG is. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been in rooms with cats that, you know, like you'd be surprised, like, you know, that I'm just, you know, like just checking out what they have to say and just checking them out as, you know, as an artist or as a painter, you know, or whatever, you know, whatever. You know, it's all out there. You know, anything you might be interested in. Even, you know, news, you know, like, you know, you're a journalist, you know, there's all kind of journalists out there. Just check out, you know, how they rock, you know. But just to say, at the end of the day, you know, I'm just being me, man. You know, some days, you know how it is. Some days, some things make you laugh. Some things make you cry. You know, like.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's gonna be worthy. Whatever you post up and put is gonna be worthy of something. If it's gonna make you, you know, if it's gonna make you feel a certain way, you're gonna be like, all right, I need to go ahead and throw that to my peoples, right? So. Right,
exactly. That's where my head be like that. My peoples will find it funny. My peoples will get something out of this, or you know, like it's a little prolific. I'm gonna share with the people. You know what I'm saying? Like I look at cats like they almost like, you know, like extended friends. You know, like yo, you know, it make me laugh. It'll probably make you laugh too, you know. That's kind of I'll be real simple with it at the end of the day.
And it's appreciated because, you know, someone of your stature and history within music and beyond that is important. And, you know, and people like myself, other people out there, your fans, people definitely appreciate, you know, the fact that you are accessible. And back to music, you know, with not just the project you have coming up, but when you talk about or when you think about the culture right now that we got, you know, a lot of the men and women out there, you know, they got specific deals that they rocking with. Some are indies, they doing what they do. Like, you know, when it's all said and done, because you came in an era where I feel like, you know, it was, you know, everybody's winning. You know, everybody had their hand in the culture, not necessarily mainstream, but it was a footnote that people will never, ever forget. So when you look at the culture now and we're in 2020, do you still feel like that transition is the same, or is there a lot more we can do in order to at least get it to that level where we used to have it?
Yeah, I definitely feel like, you know, sometimes it's give and take, you know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes it's not by decision, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We seem to have gained a lot on the business side, whereas, you know, there's definitely the branding aspect today and the opportunities that just weren't in existence, you know, like much like the cell phone, it just wasn't in existence when we were coming through, you know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. But I can also say that the art has kind of suffered to the degree that we have, you know, the synchronization. We have all of the same music being played on all of the same stations all of the time. You know, it's like DJs don't even have the opportunity to break a record, which is a shame. You know what I'm saying? Because that's who would bring us new, innovative music. They had the freedom, and they would look for the next it. You know, so that stifled creativity as well. You know, like we've gotten so inundated in the success of a record as opposed to the creativity of a record that cats just mimic whatever they see as being successful instead of trying to create their own. Like it's all about, you know, the bag that the brand can create as opposed to just being dope, you know. So I mean, so there's a lot of room out there, and just being dope pays. You know what I'm saying? Like cats kind of get away from that notion sometimes, but they should try it. You know what I'm saying? Just being dope pays, and it'll be there for a while. Just be dope and stay dope.
I mean, real truth though, because I feel like if you are that guy, anybody that's synonymous with Blacksheep will know Dres. Any of your projects that you have, people will check. And I go back to like Rakim and you know what I'm saying, like Run DMC.
Right.
There's a lot of. You create a culture. This is really what a culture should embody, right? Like a lot of timeless stuff that people won't forget, instead of like you said, just chasing that bag, right?
Exactly, and and it shows, and what's kind of real is, like first of all, like the kids are more into the playlist and the lifestyle than the song or the music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which like hopefully, I think what can change that is just dope music. Dope music changes a lot. So I think if cats just start, just finding themselves in the music, I think it'll speak. And as well, like I think, like it's for us to start like kind of being more communicative with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like old cats feel like they can't mess with young cats. Young cats feel like they can't mess with the old cats. But that's where we miss. You know what I'm saying? And that's where like cats. A young cat needs to jump on something that's dope, or an extension of something that's dope to the cats that are older than him, and do what he does on it. You know what I'm saying? He could still be him, and not to say that he shouldn't do his own thing. I'm far from saying that.
Right. But
he should have the ability to play on all courts, and it'll be appreciated. And older cats have got to be open to what a young cat is dealing with today. Like. They not, they not running things like they were when they was the young cat. So listen to them, you know what I'm saying, and give him some constructive criticism as opposed to telling him what he ain't. Tell him what he is,
Right.
Wow.
And Dres, I think that's important. Yeah, and Dres, I think that's important. The iconic Blacksheep, Dres, is on Nexxlegacy Radio, and I think it's important because you do take. A lot of, we would love to live forever, but, we got a good, 150 to 100 years left or whatever, and you would hope that the culture that you put yourself into, I look at it as a fraternity, right? You want to make sure that somebody else can be able to learn from somebody else so they can be better and original and creative to be able to carry that legacy on, right? Because,
and the days of what it took for them to reap benefit. You know what I'm saying? Like cats literally sacrificed for them to reap benefits, and it was disrespectful is when they don't acknowledge that. And I'm not even talking about myself. I'm talking about cats before me. Like cats literally sacrificed for us for this to keep this moving for us. You know what I'm saying? And we all stood on each other's shoulders to get it higher. And so when a cat is going across a stage at the Academy Awards or what have you, he's got to understand that there's a lot of cat shoulders he's standing on, and he should have an understanding of that. Like you come from greatness. You don't come from some old heads. You come from greatness, champ. You know what I'm saying? Like represent that.
Exactly.
Word.
Exactly. And you made me think about something that I was some years back I was grateful to have Melly Mel on, and it was something that he told me that I'll never forget. He told me when it comes to this culture, where it was birthed, how it was birthed, and why it was birthed was something that the new cats should really just pay attention to and embody, because it's not like the new cats are going to just be, they're going to be welcomed with open arms, but also on the flip side, it needs to be, just like you said earlier, to be embraced and to be recognized as such too. And I feel like you're right. There's a lot of them that just don't. And for whatever reason, because they're all paying attention to the bag, but also I think you'll live longer, your music will live longer if you pay attention to the history of the culture, right?
Without question. That's how it lives longer. Word. Do it for the people. Don't do it for the band.
Indeed. Dres is my guest on Next Legacy Radio, and a couple of quick ones before I let you go, man. And with your project coming out soon, and it's TBA for the people out there that's listening, and for everything else that's going on in the world right now, I got to ask you this one, is like, what is in your playlist? I know we talked about playlists, but what is in Dres' playlist right now as we go through this pandemic, and if we're grounded for the most part in the house, what are you listening to right now, my brother?
My word, like, I've been listening to, of course, a lot of Dilla tracks, just Dilla instrumentals and vibing off different stuff, because I'm still doing a little bit of writing for the project. I got a few verses for me to be finished. So and just fine tuning a few things. But other than that, probably Robert Glasper's project of Dilla stuff has been kind of crazy to listen to. I'm really just kind of floating through a bunch of old stuff, to be honest with you, man. I just been
hey man, you can't go wrong with that.
Focused. Yeah, man.
You can't go wrong with it.
Right.
I ain't mad at you, but
I know some mean cats out there, though. That's my word.
Yeah, and Dres, I got to give you a shout out, man. And I know the listeners out there, if you really go back, and when I say go back, I'm talking about go back a couple of years. It's not even that old, quote unquote. But I gotta, and again, we haven't had dialogue in a while, so I gotta congratulate you on Tortured Soul, though, because.
Oh, thanks, man.
Man, I mean,
all right. Cool little project, right?
There's a lot of ill records on there, bro. Like, I gotta give you credit on that, because I know, like, I tweeted it out there, and I'm not heavy like on my social media like I once was. But I mean, when that dropped, and it's still, it's still on my on my spin cycle right now. You know what I mean? So I got to give you props on Tortured Soul, because people out there that's checking it out, definitely go feel it, because it's definitely one of those good ones. So, and that was your most recent to date. So I got to give you credit on that one. It's a lot of good. It's a lot of good joints on there, bro.
That's
props.
What's up. Yeah. It was nice to put that together. My man being one gave me assistant, put it in the sequencing together, and it was a dope project to do. Wow.
Man. Most def, and of course, I mean, you gotta with me. I mean, it's not just that. I mean, anything old school Blacksheep is iconic, bro. So that I'm a ill like Wu-Tang, Fu-Snickens. You know what I mean? Just a lot of the classic joints, bro. Like it just and it just takes me back to a point where it was just okay to just be you. You know what I mean? And it felt like that.
Right, yeah,
like
doubt,
when I felt.
No doubt.
Yeah, when I felt you guys do that, and when I felt the others do that, y'all didn't sound like Wu-Tang. Y'all had y'all own flavor, and that's what made y'all go.
Right, real talk. We all being ourselves.
No doubt. And if everybody out there is listening, if y'all need to go, man, just go ahead and do it. Just for the history, follow my man, hit him up. Just do it now. do it right away.
All right.
Follow my man on Instagram, Blacksheep Dres, the iconic Blacksheep, and just hashtag that. Just take it with you, bro. Like, it's all good. But I gotta thank you, man,
thanks for having
not
me.
Just reconnecting. Hey, real talk, just because it's been a minute. We reconnected. But, I'm glad you're super accessible, but I'm just glad you're still out there just making music for the people, man. I think that's for fans like myself and people out there listening, I mean, you won the Super Bowl a couple of times, man. You're doing this for the love of, you know what I mean? So I definitely appreciate that.
Love, I appreciate that. All right, man, you have a good night, man. Stay safe.
All right, you too. That is, once again, the iconic Blacksheep Dres right here on Next Legacy Radio.
Are you ready for Next Legacy?
Are you ready for Next Legacy?
Are you ready for Next Legacy?
Well, let's begin, my good people. Welcome to Next Legacy Podcast.